conquer. So, we hear this word. I was also thinking about that because, the term intersectionality came up. And so, what is that term? What is the definition of intersectionality? And is that term confusing for the masses? Again, you got to remember, and this is not to put anybody down, it's more of an indictment of how they are not educating our children in these schools, but indoctrinating them. But I think the average reading level in the United States, and that's everybody, maybe between 8th grade and 12th grade. It might be 8th grade. I haven't looked it up in a while. But it's not a whole lot of complicated people who know the terms and the definitions of these big words that we be using. This is the kind of stuff professors talk about among themselves when they writing papers and submitting papers and stuff, and they trying to get some funding to explore these theories or whatnot. But what is this? What is the definition, and is it too confusing for the masses? Because the masses is what's going to bring about change, not the individuals. But are these terms also making the system of racism and white supremacy more complex than what it is? Why do we want to turn simple math into trigonometry? I don't understand that. And so another question I have is, does applying intersectionality to the system of racism and white supremacy divide victims? Because if you divide the victims and you get them focusing on their differences, then guess who you're not focusing on? And, there is a point where let's use the word intersection. That's where it's a road, usually 4 roads that lead to this one intersection, ground zero. So that's how they're applying intersectionality. Is gender discrimination, discrimination against gays, discrimination against just black people, period. That discriminate, and then they all intercede. They're intersectional, but I mean, don't they all intercede to ground zero? And who's sitting at ground zero? Who's the root of all of these problems? So it kind of like, why should I be focusing on my difference with other victims? Should I be focusing and directing all my efforts towards the system of white supremacy, those that's in charge, those that's practicing legalized slavery?